Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our presentation. The main topic of today's presentation is research paper course International Business, presented to Jessia Mustafa, Senior Lecturer, Department of Business Administration, presented by Meherzabin Sultana, Taufikur Rahman, Yasmin Akhtar, Jefferson. Today in this presentation we will share some of the most useful tips that will help you the read research paper easily and more effectively. Today we talk about the benefit of research paper, how and where is the search of them, component of the research paper, and finally some of the tips of reading research paper to get the most out of it. So I request you to watch this presentation till an end. Let's begin with what is the research paper. A research paper is the suitable document of any observation, experiment, hypothesis which is the supported by logic and result and are the often reviewed critically before the begin published. Next, let's talk more about the benefits of reading. Benefit of reading. Now you might think, why should I read of the research paper? What are the benefit of reading research paper? To that, let me tell you that apart of the completing your the assignment and write your this the major benefit of research paper included it improve your knowledge and keep your update, at least advantage happening in science. It's improve your scientific vocabulary. It develop of the scientific apart in you. Good paper have been published after the rigorous the review by the competitive, the scientific and the professor. Hence, and the information is the more authentic the previous paper may from the basic for new research from which you might learn about the technology and the method others are following. You may discuss your findings and compare them with the previously done research of the others. You learn how to scientifically write a paper on your own, how to make a figure out the table and the city reference. Okay, so next my teammate will talk more about the searching paper.
Thank you. There are thousands and thousands research paper already existing in online journal database. And for effective searching, two things are crucial. First, what you are looking for, and second, where to look for it. So first, it's talk about what you are looking for. You must be very specific while searching for a topic. Suppose you want to search for a research on sound wave effects plant. So rather than just looking at everything about sound or effects about plants, narrow down the searching and choose specific keywords which are close to what you actually need. You may add another filter such as publication year, journal name or the author name. This way you will narrow down your searching result to get the more specific paper. Next, come where to look for it. I know most of student and researcher just Google it, but Google returns a lots of data and most of it not authenticated research. I always recommend you to read a good paper that are peer reviewed and cited in index journal. There are a few search engine that are can use to search the research article like Google Scholar, PubMed, Science Direct, etc. Okay, so let's more briefly about the components of paper. Now, if you have never seen a research paper before, try downloading it and have a look at it once. When you look at the research paper, following components may be seen. First, the journal name in which it is published. Next, come the publication date. Next is the title, usually a line or two that lines what the paper is all about. Then comes the list of author. All the researchers who have contributed to the current research paper are listed here. Affiliation tells where the author belongs during the research. Abstract or summary provide a brief overview of a complete paper including motive and key research outcome. The next come introduction. Here you will find the background information about the research previously done in the area of knowledge gap or existing challenges which lead to the current research. At the last paragraph of introduction, a glimpse of what the current paper is all about. The next section is mechanic and method section, which tell you all the actual actual examples when do what the materials and samples, chemicals and software are used, what the method or technique were followed. Next in the results section, in this section you will see the detailed result of the experiment that were conclude. Related figure and tables are also included under the description. The result of the study are compared with the previously related work. How and why such results are obtained, what the results significant, etc. are described under the description. Conclusion, where the outcomes of the research is briefly summarized in few sentences. The next section is reference. All the paper referred by the reference article, research article, what there is the mentioned in the introduction, method or the description in the citation, and detail of those paper are provided in the reference sections. Acknowledgements. Here funding agency and people are acknowledged for their contribution in providing faculties fund, materials or many such help author their contribution. This part tells who has done what this research paper. All right, so to talk about more how to read more effectively, I would like to involve my next team member.
Thank you, Mezabin. So now that you know about searching and components of research paper, how do you download them? And next you want to read it, never start reading a complete research paper. At first it will take a lot of time and many of you don't have that time or patience. You may find you have wasted a lot of time reading a research paper that was not useful to you at all. The best way to read a research paper is to follow the following sequence. Check the titles first. Just by looking at the title you get a broad idea if the paper is useful to you or not. Next, read the abstract summary and conclusion of the paper. This section gives the overview about the whole paper that they did and what were the major findings. It would hardly take around 5 minutes to go through this section. If you find something interesting in the abstract summary or the conclusion of the paper, start reading the introduction. It will develop your background about the topic and what the previous relevant research are that have been done. While reading the introduction, you will note that every previous study the paper is referenced to has been given citation for it. This can be very helpful for you. You can find more relevant paper if you want to learn more about this topic by going those reference. Next, read the result and the discussion section. Check the figures and tables to understand the reason better. This way, you can reduce the number of papers you actually read so that you can have a deeper and more sincere look at the whole paper. Next, you can check what are the materials and the methods they follow for their experiment. With that said, I would like to
Thank you. Here are the tips for writing a research paper. If you find it difficult reading a paper, slow down. While reading or text a printout, use pencil or highlighter to mark the important points. Note down that key points on a piece of paper. Find a quiet place at an appropriate time that suits you to read and keep patience. At first, you may need to read one paper multiple times, but after reading a few papers, your speed and efficiency will improve. If you still find it difficult to understand a particular portion, you can definitely seek the help of your seniors, professors, or your course teacher, or any scientist. For example, how did we wrote our research paper? Writing a good research paper can be difficult for the beginners. There are some methods to write a perfect research paper. We have done a research paper group of 4 students. We took guidance from our course teacher on how to write a proper research paper. After we got our instruction, we discussed about it. Firstly, we had to choose a topic in which we are going to research. Then we used Google Scholar for related journals, what we are going to research. We divided 16 journals or 16 papers for 4 students, and each student got to do 4 papers. We researched each paper very carefully, noted our every important points, and gave it a perfect structure for a main body. After we researched our papers, we had created our own paper from that. Next, we combined our 4 papers into one and edited the content for it. Thank you.